Hi, I'm Phil from Driftworks, and this is my V10 E46 M3 restoration project. This is my buddy Jay, and we just need to basically make this go in there again, just simply.
We just need to undo all the hard work you did and do it all over again.
So the plan for today is land a few bits back on it, clutch and flywheel, get ready to put the gearbox back on. We're going to take the sump off and chop it. Basically we know roughly where we need to chop it, but we're not going to weld the new bits back in. We're going to basically put the chopped sump back onto the engine and then put the engine in the car is the current plan. See where we sit then with how much room we've got between the oil pump and the steering rack with my engine position, because the other cars that I've seen done this way, the engine is about 20 mil further forward, which I really don't want in this car.
I guess you better fit a steering rack as well.
Yeah, so other things that Jay's been doing whilst we've been waiting, we've finished the sills, so sill repair looks excellent, can't quite see that, there you go. So finished those, and also we've put the completely standard steering column in. So this this was modified on mine before, so we're back to stock with that. We're back to a stock crossmember for the moment. That will no doubt be slightly modified, but yeah, I guess we'll just start throwing stuff at the engine and sort that sump chop.
Let's ruin a perfectly good sump then.
Yep, let's go.
Right then, first step is put the clutch and gearbox back in. This won't be the last time the gearbox is going on, but we need to put it on so we know where it lines up in the engine bay. We do need to take it off again because Ben at Hack Engineering is going to send us a metal clutch fork pin that we're going to use. So that's a nice little touch. So yeah, let's get that and that and that in that, then in that. Just spending a little bit of time cleaning up the flywheel bolts. They've got old thread lock in them, which I'm now cleaning out, because I guess the last thing you want is the flywheel sawmilling its way through your ankle. Right, that's the flywheel on and torque to 105 Newton meters according to the internet, but let's just take a bit of time to admire it. I presume it's KMS racing, but it's a lovely thing. For my next challenge, I'm going to attempt to put the clutch on, but seeing as we don't have an alignment tool for this, I guess it's time to get creative. So, just as I was about to torque the clutch cover up, I get a message off Uncle Craig. I don't know if you can read that, but time to take it off again and take it next door. Well, I've come to bother Craig in the middle of the day because he sent me an emergency text.
Yeah.
And what have we discovered?
Well, a lot of modern clutches are automatic adjust. And I thought this one was. So there's two plates on this. This is your obviously front plate, and in there is another plate. So bear in mind this was fitted to the car and running, but on the reverse side there is this, and this is a snap ring. So what this does, it holds the fingers down so this intermediate plate floats and it all lines up and everything. But this is a transport ring.
And it's still on there.
And it's still on there.
I mean, to be fair, the clutch does look brand new. There's still writing on the production material.
But when you fit the clutch, you put it in, and once it's all bolted down the thing, you take this out and it allows the diaphragm to set.
Right.
So if you leave that in, when you work your clutch, the clutch what'll happen, it'll work and it'll pump the cylinder out. Either pop your cylinder out, damage your seal, or that comes out and rags around your gearbox and makes a right mess.
Right then, so for me to refit this,
in theory, you
just bolt it up and snap that ring off.
Line it in, bolt it all down, and then that should clip out.
Well, I'll go and put it back together then.
And there should be a balance mark there to your flywheel, that white mark.
Yeah, I've just seen that.
Which should line up.
Right then, Sweet.
Okay.
Party time.
Cool.
Right then, armed with this new information, let's have another go.
So that's a clutch and flywheel on.
What a mission that was.
Good battle. Yeah, looking good. And Jay's now just fitting some engine mounts, our original engine mounts that we probably won't end up using, but we just need to put them on to lift it on the forklift so that we can take the sump off. The original plan was to modify the sump just by chopping it and then put it back on with the hole in it to work out basically the clearance issue is here. This is where the steering rack's gonna potentially hit in its current position. But what we're gonna do now, Jay's keen on doing, is just removing these pipes, which will then allow us to put the engine in with no sump at all, and then we can see where it sits against that potential interference bit.
Don't want to ruin a perfectly good sump for the sake of it.
There's a fun little fight that we gave up on.
Yeah.
The reason is, even though we set this in the centre, you can clearly see that the disc is no longer in the centre. So I think that when we used the gearbox to align it because we haven't got an alignment tool, and when we pulled the gearbox out, it must have just dropped that back plate down because it's very out of line there. So here you can see the issue. So we've loosened off the clutch cover, and then I think the two discs stay together, don't they?
Yeah,
it's
they're
twin
locked
plate,
together.
but they're locked together on the spline, so that's fine as long as it's aligned centrally on this one, if the one is two. But yeah, so we just need to start nipping these bolts up now to the point where this will just about move, and we'll get it in the centre, and then, you know, it'll be okay, won't it, Jay? Old man stretch. Right, going for
the same again. It worked out.
3, 2, 1.
Yes, straight in. Yeah, probably line up a bit perfect.
Yeah.
Ram it straight into this bit.
Got about 20 centimetres clearance at the moment on the front.
Yeah, going in.
Yeah, come to me.
You're going to be stuck there.
Yeah, I can go down then.
That doesn't sound very comfortable. So I'm going to keep it close to you for a minute.
Keep it at that, now start hooking it in on the outside.
Yeah, and down obviously, yeah.
It's just going into aluminium, so that you put off.
So now we need to get essentially the cross member
And then support the engine
underneath it.
Yeah.
With the steering rack in place.
Yeah. Probably slot the rack in.
Okay, so got bolts.
Yeah, and a stop.
Guarantee that this strap's going to be in the worst place again.
Well, I don't know, because the top has to go all the way up there.
Yeah, look, that bit.
Yeah, but surely he's gonna.
So, we'll need the steering rack in place, Jay.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, definitely. So, where's that?
I mean, you can have one without tie rods on if you want to just put the purple one in.
Ah, this one will be okay. Okay, and then I've got 2 bolts.
Well, I think we've got to get to the point where we need the bolts before we worry about the bolts, because I don't know if that's going to even. Alright, that's where it lines up.
That's a bit with me, so I can come up on the forks a bit.
Let me get a bolt in. Definitely
I've got a few turns on that. Front one's bad.
I mean, I can do these up if you want to.
Bear with me a second, I'll just raise the fork. So coming up a bit. It's lifting the car already, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's max then, so.
Down there.
Safe as houses. Okay. Do you want to just drop the forks down gently? Not on my head.
Yeah. I'll give it a go. It's the leftist lever, isn't it?
Yeah, and push away very slowly. It might tip off the ramp because of the weight. Yeah, we've got nothing in the back, have we?
Nothing at all.
Should we put some weight in the back?
Yeah.
Steve! Such a safe working environment.
Still starts. Straight through the window.
Yeah. Right, that should be a bit better. That's loose now, so should be able to just tilt down some more.
Easy as that then.
It's done?
Yeah.
Shall we start it?
Engine's in, mate.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain amounts of wood and hopes and prayers involved, but you know.
The cross member's got a couple of threads done up.
Yeah. There's at least 2 threads engagement on this side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we need to
Get this strap out of the way, because that's what's stopping. So you can just see down here, there's the actual hooks on the strap are what's stopping it going down properly, so it was sitting on there.
Focus.
Focus! There you can kind of see. Gold bits! There we go. So I'm going to get those out, and then we hopefully can wiggle it around a bit and make it make sense.
Yay.
So after much discussion,
It's been a long talk.
yeah, I won't show the time lapse of
Just
Jay.
standing here staring at you.
Yeah, looking sad. So yeah, there's There is, funnily enough, a reason why we did the conversion the way that we did the very first time round.
Can we insert Craig saying "told you so"?
I told you so. I know it.
Let's go.
So he will be very happy to hear that, though. He's going to have that annoying, smug look on his face.
Told you.
I don't know what you're wasting your time for.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, as you can see here, we have the standard cross member.
Sort of attached, but hanging down about 10-15 mil, I guess.
Gap there, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of twisted and loose at the moment, with the rack kind of roughly put in place, which is a standard E46 green rack. And yeah, even with no sump on it at all, you can see there is a minor interference issue here. So the actual oil pump itself is hitting the adjuster on the rack. You can kind of see that, like, the rest of this here is, I mean, we'd probably be able to make all of that work, but this is, yeah, bad. This is a little extreme. This is more extreme than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, we talked, you know, you got the option of moving the engine forward miles.
Yeah, so
I mean, turning it into an Audi.
So yeah, the Australian version that I saw done, they basically must have the engine 50 mil further forward than we have. There is no way, even with modifying the sump or anything, that we'd ever be able to clear this oil pump, even with the rack rotated. Even if we shoved the rack back a little bit.
But then we're starting to compromise again.
Yeah, we don't want to compromise suspension and steering. But if I was have to shove the rack back like 5 mil, I'd be okay with that, because it doesn't affect anything. It's the up and down that really affects stuff really badly. But yeah, we are like an absolute mile away from this being anywhere close to fitting. Whatever we did, if we, you know, I even thought about that, whether we could knock a bit off the pinion adjuster on the rack, whether we could knock a bit off the back of the oil pump, whether we could machine it ever so slightly. But we're going to be getting in millimetres.
Still got something, haven't we? You know?
Yeah, we're going to be gaining millimetres, and you know, those millimetres won't be enough. And even if they were, we'd still need to at least get like a 2 mil thick bit of aluminium to create a sealed oil environment. So
there's one fix for this problem, and it's an expensive one.
Yeah, so there is one fix. I wanted to do this first, but I have already spoken to them, and it's VAC Motorsports. They do a daily engineering dry sump kit for this, and it will completely solve this problem. Doesn't solve the exhaust header manifold issue with the steering column clearance. That's still something we'd have to sort out. But basically, it's a flat, completely flat sump here, and it has a tiny box on the Vanos version, which I want to keep the Vanos, which basically seems to cover here. In fact, actually, let me get my phone, because we were just looking at it. So yeah, it's gonna focus. There, you can see it. So you can see this is the new pump here, and it sits on the side but above the oil pan.
So I guess this area
it kind of
here
sits, yeah, kind of like a bit above that. So actually it's hard to point.
Hang on a minute.
It sits kind of
Hang on a minute.
What?
Is this bit gone on that picture? Because I think that means the crank falls out.
It can't be.
No, it can't be. It can't go on that. It must mount up there.
Yeah, I think it's just.
Yeah, but if that mounts there, that causes problems. Look, if that mounts to the side of that.
Yeah, but not. I need some more pictures.
Yeah, we might be heading to a world of disaster.
Yeah, I think there's.
That bit definitely fixes our problem.
Yeah, so that bit does, but where the pump sits, you're worried about whether there's enough room there.
I'm worried about if this bit stays on.
Yeah.
How much room we got there to fit?
I think it's the same pump system as what we use on the 86. That's got a daily engineering sump on it. But yeah, we need to be very clear on dimensions for that side of things. But yeah, there is also a slight issue in that this is rather expensive. I think this is like $5,600 before you've even got a tank, any lines, any of the vacuum valves that you need, all of the stuff that I know quite a lot about because I had to buy it for the 86, like I say. So yeah, I'm gonna go and have a look at this kit on a computer rather than my tiny iPhone screen and actually work out whether it is 100% the solution, whether it's going to solve all the problems here or whether it's going to introduce new problems with clearance and stuff like that. And I'm also going to have to work out whether I can get any help from VAC Motorsports or something, because by the time it's all said and done with all the bits and pieces, I reckon it's straight up a £8,000
aeration tank thing.
Yeah, there's so much, and then obviously there's like dry sump systems. They're so involved to get them right. You have to run -16 lines. So how are we going to run those in a road car? Is it going to be inside the car and retrim? Is it going to be
hard pipe?
You can run hard pipe, and that's what I'd like to do underneath, and then a tank in the boot. But yeah, so I'm glad that we did this. I'm glad that we checked it out. I'm glad that we you know, dreamed. We dreamed big, but the long and short of it is that this is not going to work with the standard sump and standard oil pump on this car, with the standard rack and standard cross member, with the engine where we fitted it. So obviously our engine is roughly 50 mil further back than anybody else that's done this before, and I'm not going to compromise on, you know, raising the engine and having stuff poking through the bonnet,
or space in the subframe,
or space in the subframe and ruining the roll centre and geometry, or moving the engine or whatever. So no compromise. Let's see whether we can get this done properly.
No compromise, I guess, and that's with money.
Money.
Yeah, that fixes
money
no
and
compromise.
basically weeks and weeks more work.
Yeah.
Yay!
Perfect. That's what we're talking about.
It's ready to fire up, mate. We just wanted your help with some wiring.
Just put your eye on that.
Where's that bit gone?
Don't you worry about that bit.
This brings back memories.
Fun memories or bad memories?
I don't know.
Because we're currently creating new bad ones, aren't we, Joe?
Oh, I don't know. It's a fantastic idea, to be honest.
Yeah, as you can see, that's basically what we've done here. Is we've just used your gearbox mount original position.
Yeah.
So we know that this way,
Yeah.
the engine is sitting exactly where it was before when you did
about as far back as it can go without smashing the
Yeah.
no, that's about where it goes, really.
Yeah.
Isn't
Well, it
it?
melted one of those plastic fittings in the back of the engine.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it can't really go much further back than that, not without
Yeah.
not ridiculous surgery.
And then to give you some more details, this is standard cross member, but it's not bolted up hard. So we've got a gap there. We've got a very big gap here, and with no sump at all, as you can see, we have a slight interference issue.
So isn't this why we changed it last time?
What did we say?
Look at that face. Told ya.
Yes. So basically, that's why we brought you around here, so that you can do Jeremy Clarkson's smug face
Yeah.
at us.
It doesn't fit.
No,
Because the other ones I've seen,
Yeah.
they've like, oh, this.
So
is-
the
this
only
is
way to
bad.
do this, like we're talking about the Australian one, and I think there's a couple of others that do it.
Dry
It's 50 mil further forward, straight up, easy 50 mil
Yeah,
further
but that's
forward.
not ideal,
I'm
is
not
it?
doing it, no way.
No.
So, but you were speaking to a guy who was asking you for advice on what we did with this engine in the first place, and he ended up fitting dry sump.
Yeah, guy in Belgium or something
solved
like
his
that, yeah.
issues, didn't it?
But
So
I
that's
think
basically.
moving it forward isn't the answer, is it?
No,
It's
I'm not doing that. I refuse to.
And that's why we didn't do it last time, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not right.
Yeah. There is no way around this. There is the only solution I can think of is dry sump, and that's loads more work and an absolute dickload of money. But
Well, at least you're not getting carried away with it, eh?
Turbo's coming, Craig.
Yeah.
so yeah, we've stood and stared at this quite a fair bit. All we wanted was the final smug face
Yeah.
from Mr. Taylor.
I can provide that.
And then I'm going to go to the internet and basically work out a plan. Just double check that the dry sump looks like it's going to work. But I think, like I said, we spoke to somebody who made
It's
it
only
work.
that clearance there that I'm worried about the pump.
Yeah,
But
but yeah.
Great, can move the pump, that's no problem, is
hopefully
it?
the crank ain't got to come back out, eh?
That's what I'm worried about, is that there's a drive gear for the for that, but it is external. But it's whether there's a problem with the Vanos drive pump there, because we're keeping that obviously. So
I think you just lose that, and the sump's got a...
Because that drives off the crank by the looks of it, and that drives that one.
Yeah,
so
that's
you could
the
probably
gear
get
that
away with
snaps.
just taking it
yeah.
off. Right, okay.
Yeah. Off to the internet we go. Yay! One last smug face, please. See you in a bit.
At Driftworks, we've helped over 50,000 happy customers since 2004. Our huge online parts store is simple to use, with superb shipping rates to anywhere in the world, and finance options available for UK customers. We live and breathe wheel fitment, so if you have any questions about your own car or any of our products before placing an order, please drop us an email at shop@driftworks.com or give us a call. Thanks for watching.